We are now going to add our very first item into our template. You can either click on the Add Item button or press the F1 key. This will open up the drug wizard, and the system indicates to us that we need to put in our drug description. And remember, like all other fields in Allegro, you can use a full or a partial search for the item. In this case, I'm going to search for Lipitor, so I can type in lipid and press the Enter key or click on the magnifying glass. This will now give us a result with the original drug item, its original strength, the NAPI code, a 6-digit NAPI code, the schedule, and the presentation. You can use your up-down keys to move between your items, and you'll notice that the darker blue is the highlighted one. Blue just means that the item is already active in your stock file, and green means the item was not selected previously but can still be selected. So we're going to go with the Lipitor 20 milligram, and we press the Enter key. Now we need to put in the dispense quantity. So I'm going to type in 30, and once again we press Enter, and this will now bring up a second drug lookup which indicates our original drug and the generics of choice. It's got our pack size, the medical aid amount. If the patient is on a medical aid, it will indicate the amount in here. The patient amount if it is a private patient, like in our case, excess amount, unit excess, the stock on hand in packs, as well as the commission amount. Now, just to show you what the colors or the legends below is all about, and if I change the quantity to 10 and I search again, you'll see that the pack size colors change to red, indicating that if I have a dispense quantity of 10 with the current pack sizes, I'll have a major pack wastage for these drugs. If I change that to a 15 and I search again, you'll notice that it's now indicated as a minor pack wastage. If I now go back to 30 and I search again, you'll see that green says recommended, so the item right at the top will be recommended due to the dispense quantity and the pack size. Remember that at any time you can change the description by taking it out of this field and typing in a new description. So let's go with Aspervor. So I can just type in Asper VO, and that will bring up our Aspervor result. I want to load Lipitor, so again I can type in lipid. It will bring up my original drugs of choice, press Enter, and I can still change my dispense quantity, or if I'm happy with what I've got, it will remain with that result in here. The top one, as you can see, is a darker highlighted green, meaning that this item is highlighted. So I can now select or press Enter, and it will load my drug item with my description at the top, the full NAPI code, item description, pack size, and schedule. Later on I'll show you how to substitute the item from here. It indicates the medical aid, our dispense quantity as per the previous screen that we indicated, and now we need to put in the repeats. So if the doctor prescribes the medication for 6 months, we put in 5. If it's for 5 months, we put in 4, and the reason for that is that today is seen as the first repeat. So this is a 5 repeat, or a 6 repeat. I put in 5, and I can now use my tab key to tab down to the day supply. In this case it's 1 per day, so the day supply will be 30. I can tab down to my direction, and you can put in your direction, which is pretty standard across the board. So in this case it's a number 1 with a space, N space for in the evening, and PC space for after meals. You'll notice that whatever's on the left goes to the right, and this is what will print on the label for the patient in the desired language. You'll also see the character count for both sides, just to make sure that you don't put in a direction that's too long for your labels that print out. I can remove it by using my backspace if I need to change my direction. Okay, so that's 1 in the evening after meals. From here, I can use my tab key or my mouse to select the ICD-10 code. Now remember that you need to put the ICD-10 code that the doctor prescribes. But I'm going to show you how to add your ICD-10 codes. It's either by typing in the code or the description, and I'm going to show you the example. So in this case, we're going to use Z76.9, which is a standard code. We press enter, and that will go look for the code in the list and will pull the code in for you. At any time you can delete the code, and if you want to add a secondary code, you can set that code as a primary code. You can also use your description field. So if I type in hyper-LIP for hyperlipidemia, press enter or search, that will bring up your ICD-10 lookup with all the options according to the description that I've typed in. So we can go with hyperlipidemia unspecified and press enter or select, and that will load our second ICD-10 code. If I want this one to be the primary, I can click on it and say set as primary. That will take the tick off the top one. If I want to remove any one of the two, I need to click on it and say delete code, and the system will give us a confirmation. So are you sure you want to remove the ICD-10 code from the script line? Yes, and it will take it away. At the bottom now we've got our fees, which indicate the professional fee, the levy, patient total. The patient is liable for this amount, seeing that it's a private, and at this point in time we are loading a currently active item, which I'll indicate and show to you now. So we now can click on the done button or press the enter key, and that will load our very first item in our list. Next we're going to add a second item, and we're going to make that item a non-dispense item. So let's have a look at that.